they'll do a ball work session, and they might roll the ball out and those sorts of things, but they don't actually work with the markers or their A defenders. And you've got to have that. You've got to make sure that's got to be spot on. It's in my other laptop, but that Parramatta game, we got touched up 58-0. We were just disgraceful around that area. So this year, guess what I'm working at, guys? We just overload markers and A defenders. They're sick to death. But we played the IS the other night in the trial, and they scored some tries on the edges, but they didn't get through the middle. So that's a great big tick for us. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay. Just going to go through. Okay, so defensive positions. We'll talk about our defensive structures. What do you guys use? What defensive would you use? Just basic defence, up and up, up and in. Anyone?
Slide.
Slide. Yep. So slide. What would you use? Slide means what? If he's using slide, what's he got?
Defence. Tank defence.
Breast defence. He's got speed then, hasn't he? So he's got some confidence in his players to be up and out. Let's work out here. Here's our field. Opposition has the ball here. That's not a bad place to try and hand the footy over, isn't it? 10 metres out. How would we defend up here? Compressed? Yep. How far?
Right winger just outside the far post.
God, who's there? Who's that?
Right winger.
Right winger? Okay. So you're saying your winger's there?
Just outside.
Just outside, right up. I try and put my centre there, and just you're right there, put your winger there. It's up to you guys. So how far would you have that compression? What would you guys think? 20, back to 20.
Come back on a V.
Depends on how much room's there for.
Yeah.
As long as you're dominating.
Yeah. Good call. So, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, let's just compress up in here to 30, 40 metres. But what are they going to do here? Where are they going to try and get to? Shift or get to there, get to the centre. Yep. And when you get there, what do you have to do then? You've got to adjust that. You just can't say, look, this is what we're going to do here, because once they get there, your adjustment's got to adjust to where their field position is. Yeah? A little principle, which is something I use. It's pretty basic. It just gives the kids an idea, and see if you guys we can come up with it. So if the opposition is here, so that's our ruck area. We've obviously got two markers. We've got a fullback. So we break the field up in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So it's real simple. If they're there's 10 plays in the defensive line, we just go 5 and 5. So it's just 1, 2, 3, have a bit of a space, whatever, there. So we're in the middle of the park. That's the defensive structure which we try to create for our team. It's a real simple, and it's simple for the kids to know that. Okay, what if they're here? What does that tell you? You're on the 3. So how would we go? What would you do there?
Depends on how they got the play.
Remember, I'm just saying this is a basic principle. It's not hard set in concrete. But then what you then would do is, we're basically saying you've got 3 and 7. So it's 1, 2, tight there, your markers can be there. And then you've just got your 7. You have that guy a little bit tighter.
Just follow.
Yeah, exactly. Just follow numbers across the park. But if they've got a fair few guys on the short side here, you still, and that's something you've got to be able to read. Who's best to work that out? Who's best person?
Fullback.
Fullback, yep. Who else?
Two markers. Short side,
Halves.
Halves. Okay.
The A defender on the left.
A defender on the left. So we're getting lots of answers, aren't we? Look, one thing about our game is that there's no right, there's no wrong. It's whatever you believe. You know, I can have a belief and you can believe something, and it can both be right. One thing you need, I mean, what did anyone think about Chris Anderson when he had the one marker? Did everyone scoff and laugh and went, what's he doing? Well, what do you guys think?
Depends on who you play.
But he tried to change the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we've only, all the time we've only really got 10 in the line. If your fullback can get in and put a little bit of smoke screen up there for you and make a little bit of extra numbers, especially the first 3 tackles, but I don't, well, it wasn't great, but he tried something. I don't think that he sold it. We're salesmen, we're coaches. We need to sell what we believe to our players. And maybe...
What were they trying to do there then? Because the way the game is at the moment, it's dummy half in particular does so much work.
Yeah.
Good dummy halves do so much work.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the closer to the defence, so you hope to shut him down a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah.
But maybe the structures around what he did, he didn't work on it properly. I think it would have worked if it would have been really taxing on the team because it's a defence. You get 11 players, and it's an easy solve. Like, you know, you get 6 and 5. That's great. You know, 4 and 6 is tough. Another defender out here, and that, you know, when you get to that, I'll talk about later, money spot is But what you then you've got to push up hard. You've got to get up in their faces because you've only got one marker.
Just on that, the question was, what do you think he was trying to do? Do you think he was trying to dominate the attack? What would your natural reaction be if there's one marker? Run from dummy half, okay? So where would he, and I'm only surmising here, where would he have put his extra man in the defensive line? In the ruck area? So what he's then done, he's invited the opposition to attack where he's got his strongest numbers. So he's trying to, I'm just surmising here, he's trying to dictate to them, instead of shifting the ball wide, here, come down here, come down here, come down here, but he stacked that area. It didn't work, I know, but that could be the possible answer to your question. He was trying to change the style, instead of going wide all the time, inviting them to come to where he's going to have his strength. So he was trying something out of the box.
The next week it got worse because they had one marker, then they had 2 markers, and at one stage they had no markers. It just got worse and worse and worse.
Our principle here is 5 metres in around the park like that. There's one marker for us. 5 metres. You're not going to be too many problems there, especially on the try line. You can't. You know, 2 markers is a bit of a problem for you. 1 marker's going to work more effective for you there. But I mean, look,